your event, everything was wrong.
Hey besties, so we are on to episode 3 of the Real Housewives of Durban season 5, and not Nonku saying that she doesn't look down on people. I found that quite hilarious, and in this episode I can see some recruitment going on already. Like, these people want to form a clique out of that big circle, out of that big group. They already want to form a clique. Anyways, before we get right into the details, you're welcome to Trendsview. If this is your first time here, kindly click the subscribe button and turn on your post notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my updates. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know the drill. I love you. Keep watching. And please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. So now let's get right into it. This episode started off with, where we left off in episode 2, Lo addressing her situation or issue with Nonku. And one of the twins, Ndlela, had actually stepped in Nonku's defense, saying that she might not have known that the person she was asking to pass the chicken was Her Royal Highness, which Sorisha also said in her diary sections because Nonku actually came very late. But on a later scene, we found Minnie telling Angel that Nonku actually knew it was Her Royal Highness because she asked who the Royal Highness was and she was told then. Now, Nonku asked Fafa about her relationship, that she heard something on TikTok about Fafa's man being with another person. I totally loved how Fafa dismissed that discussion immediately. She was like, you go back to the person you heard from and get your stories right, and then you can come to me and ask me whatever it is you want to ask. Yeah, so yes, I didn't think that was the right time. Nonku really needs to read the room before she spills things or say things. Now, moving on, Nonku's son actually calls, and Nonku decided to answer the call in the midst of the ladies while they were having their discussions, and she was kind of shushing them. Oh, my son needs prayers, let's pray for my son. I'm like, oh, in reality, yes, if this kind of thing happens, it is only ideal for that person to take the phone and step out, step aside and answer the call, than doing it right there in the group when the ladies were discussing. It goes a long way in showing that you actually respect these ladies. But with Nonku, anything goes. Moving on, Angel meets up with Precious, who deals on hair, and they discuss brand ambassadorship because Precious wants or is looking forward to having Angel to be her brand ambassador, advertise her product and all of that. And Angel took the initiative to invite Precious to Sorisha's event. Now, next we see Ayanda meeting up with Nonku, where they get to discuss, to know each other, discuss their vulnerable moment. They share their thoughts about being single mother. At this point, Ayanda being raised by a single mother and Nonku being a single mother. And they brought up that discussion, they brought up Lo's event, and it was right there that Nonku had said that Lo has the spirit of Jezebel. And I'm like, Nonku, these are the kind of things that you say, and tomorrow when you're confronted about it, you start having selective amnesia and start saying, oh, you don't remember saying that. How can you say that someone has the spirit of Jezebel? Because on the flip side, if someone says these things to Nonku, she's not going to take it lightly with the person. So now she opens her mouth and says it. And when someone is angry about it, it's as though they're not entitled to feel that way. You talk about respecting, wanting people to respect you, but then everything that you say with your mouth is screaming disrespect. Anyways, they kind of were discussing, and this was the point where Nonku was actually trying to recruit Ayanda to, be her buddy in that group. And I'm like, okay, This was the exact same thing she did with Jojo, where they had to like pinky swear to have each other's back, and now she's doing it with Ayanda. And I totally loved Ayanda's response because Nonku was like cheering and promising to defend Ayanda in her absence, and Ayanda said, I can't promise you that. Yes, that she can only defend her from her experience, what she has experienced with her, and not like any other thing. That she's not the kind of person to take sides and all of that. So in that same vein, Fafa and Lo were at the spa discussing about the whole cocktail issue, everything that happened over the cocktail. And Fafa had addressed that she didn't like the way Nonko had actually mentioned it, that if she wanted to know something, she should have come to her directly and whatnot. So next we see Minnie and Angel. They went for shopping, and this was the part where Angel gisted Minnie everything that happened over their cocktail gathering from the beginning to the end. Lo addressing Nonko about coming late, the clothes she wore, and having to ask Her Royal Highness to pass her the chicken. And this was where Angel had mentioned that Nonko actually said that she wore 150,000 rands from head to toe. Roberto Cavalli and all of that. I'm not really good at these designers, guys. So Minnie had actually said that Nonku is a brand ambassador to Roberto Cavalli products. Did she actually buy the clothes with her money? And I'm like, well, we know what happens with brands. You tend to use the brand product, so whether you buy it or not, what you're doing for these brands is like advertising their product for people to purchase it. Now Nonku never mentioned that she bought the clothes, so whether she bought the clothes or she's actually advertising for the brand, I don't see any reason why Minnie had to bring that up. But it is what it is. Everybody knows how this brand deals. Even Angel that wants to start doing that wants to be a brand ambassador to Precious, she's not going to be buying the hair, she's just going to be wearing the hair and be advertising for Precious. That's just how it is. And for Angel to say that, oh, Nonku actually lied, Nonku never said she bought that product, so I don't know how you're saying that she lied. Anyways, moving on. Angel told Minnie about the business deal that she's about to sign with Precious, and Precious had to fill Angel in on based off on the experience that she's had with Precious, saying that she had a deal where she was supposed to do a video or something like that for Precious, and she arrived there and there were a lot of people. Now instead of Precious coming to her to ask her to come on a different date, she sent somebody instead, that she found that quite rude and disrespectful. And in the letter scene, I don't know if this is related, because I heard something about Precious losing her dad, and I'm wondering if it was on this same day that Minnie had come, that she heard about her father's passing, that this happened. Because if it's actually the same day, then her actions, that's Precious actions, is quite justifiable. She might not really be in the right frame of mind to meet anybody or to address anybody, hence she sent someone instead. I don't know if you understand. But if it's not the same day and she still sent somebody, I don't understand why it should be a big deal. Because she sent somebody. What if she had left you and you stayed from and you spent long hours waiting and no one came to address you or inform you or give you any information? What would you do? That is the disrespect. But then she took the initiative to send somebody. So, and then she started saying things about Precious not treating her staff members well, being rude to them, and treating them like they were children. And then she goes further to pull up reviews that people have, reviews about her product on socials, where people had actually expressed their displeasure, dissatisfaction from the purchase they made from her. And at that point in time, I'm like, for any business person, if you're selling products or you're rendering services, there must be positive reviews and there must be negative reviews. Everything cannot be positive. I don't know if you understand. Everything cannot just be positive. So yes, but when she actually pulled up Precious' response to that negative review, that's where I actually had an issue, because Precious was like, they are all liars, something like that. And I'm like, for a business owner that is pushing her brand, you don't outrightly call people liar. I don't know why I like things being done in subtle ways. There are ways you can actually say someone is lying without directly calling them a liar. You can be like, oh, there must be a mix up somewhere. We don't offer products that are not of good quality. But when it comes to hair, there's another thing we should know. Their quality hair, you don't expect a hair of $1,000 to be the same quality as a hair of, say, $200. That's basically it. But then Precious having to say Precious coming to say that, oh, they are liars, I found that to be quite offensive coming from a brand, you know. Just do things the subtle ways. But anyways, on the bad review, I don't think Minnie was holding waters with it, because there are positive reviews for every business owner. There are positive reviews and there are negative reviews. So yes. And next, at Sorisha's event, the ladies were gathered. Precious came, Minnie, and then the housewives were there. They were all looking glamorous. Sorisha's event, of course, it was screaming luxury, because you could tell that she actually put in effort and money to make that event happen. So why at that event, I love the idea that Sorisha didn't want them to play games, but rather brought them to dance, which I found quite refreshing. And after everything, they sat down and Minnie asked a question, asking them that as business owners, what was the biggest or the biggest lesson or mistakes that they've learned and would not like to repeat again. So Angel said her piece, Nonku said her piece, Precious was like said her own piece. She actually said that people come for her to hire them. Sometimes she doesn't see their talent and how it would fit her business, but then she goes ahead to hire them because she has a good heart. But when they get to install clients, some of her clients would be like, where is this other person that is very good? And somehow this goes to say that maybe she hires them, she did not train them, and that is how Minnie interpreted it to be. But then she's defending herself that that is not what she meant, because she still puts them into training. See this drama here, we are going to see the end of it in the upcoming week, because like it did not just end in this episode, so it's like a continuation. Yes, so I want to get the whole clarity. Let me know Precious angle and let me know Minnie's angle. So guys, what do you think about this episode that just filmed? What do you think about Nonku being disrespectful and actually saying that people are disrespecting her? And then there's this thing that she mentioned about divide and conquering, that Lo is trying to divide the group, is trying to use divide and conquer. And I'm like, at this point where you're speaking with Ayanda, you're the one actually projecting that divide and conquer. Yo, Nonko, she's really a handful. So guys, share your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about all this? And what do you think about this drama that is happening? Minnie's case with Precious, Nonku with Lo, because I actually knew that Nonku is going to drag this situation, but I just hope that it doesn't go beyond this episode. So let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Until my next video, bye.